I'm Alistair Hookway, editor of Security Journal Americas, and I'm delighted to be here on the HID booth at ISC West to speak with Brett Lannoo, Senior Regional Sales Manager, Extended Access Technologies. Enjoy! Hi Brett, thanks for joining me today. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. Thank you very much for offering the opportunity to speak to you guys about this.
So can you start by talking about how companies are thinking about identity and access differently these days?
Okay. What's interesting, I'd say a lot has developed over the last year, and the market is really more of an evolution of HID in the industry. What's nice about it, HID as being a global leader in the door opening solution world, we're very fortunate to be able to drive a credential strategy. It's about security and usability. So it starts at the front door, and then as the users are able to go ahead and securely access that front door, what happens on the inside, right? So my group within HID under Extended Access Technologies, we work with the different credential PACS team and the IAMS team on making sure users that secure a credential or decide on a credential strategy, that what they choose to use is usable downstream. So we have our OmniKey portfolio of desktop readers that actually includes desktop readers here, which support element technologies from HID, also open standards like FIDO. So whatever the credential strategy the customer has on the front door side, and then whatever they want to use as kind of a unified authentication approach, we make sure it works seamlessly as a unified authentication or converged access, if you will, all the way through the front door to whatever their desktop destination or vending machine or printer destination is. So through that whole journey throughout the day. The one unique thing about us here is we also have introduced the mobile access. The proliferation of mobile access credentials today is huge on the door access side, but a lot of the users are taking that opportunity now and extending it to the desktop side. So on here we have our new SE plug reader. We have a couple of varieties that actually support mobile access on the actual OmniKey portfolio. With this, we're able to go ahead and pull up the credential that's in your wallet on the phone, present it, and it provides secure access for that user. What's nice about that is you can add this to your multi-factor stack, so I can do a card, I can do a phone, PIN, biometric, whatever you choose to do. It's all about authenticating that user to this desktop securely. So that's what's nice about the overall portfolio of HID. We have an end-to-end unified authentication stack for any user, any use case.
Perfect. And could you touch on what sort of growth opportunities there are in the sector at the moment for HID?
Yeah, the converged access presents a lot of opportunities. I mentioned the door access is a big place for us. Converged access can mean a lot to many people. 10 years ago, it wasn't an option, right? Because converged access wasn't there for somebody. You had a secured credential at the front door, but then it stopped there. Today, what's nice about it is it's all about interoperability. So with the ability for HID, the unique position we have is not only can we retrofit any particular desktop, laptop, or endpoint with a device that's off the shelf, we can also enable third-party designs. So if you have a particular use case for workforce management or hoteling, maybe it's a medical locker, maybe it's a vending machine, we can actually go ahead and enable that device to support the mobile credential or a physical credential or maybe even a wearable that's on your phone or your wristwatch. So we enable that user to be seamlessly and continuously authenticated throughout the whole process. So it's a very unique position we have. And for customers today, a year ago and today, it's about acceptance. They understand that inherently proxy technology is insecure. They need to add multi-factor. With AI, there's a lot of additional attacks that are faster and broader reaching for everybody. So you got to be able to respond quick. And the best way to do it is to close the gap. And we allow with our RFID technologies, or the way you actually administer and authenticate or support MFA authentication or advanced authentication, you can close those different air gaps in your process throughout the day.
Perfect. So what are you showing at ISC West this year in terms of solutions?
So the core products that we have that I mentioned is the OmniKey product portfolio, which is all the OmniKey desktop readers. But some of the products that we actually have introduced, really the innovation, and what's really, really exciting and new is how our partners enable their solutions to differentiate offerings to particular use cases. Whether it's in healthcare around medical lockers for controlled access to substances, traceability for usage or even disposal. These are critical things for FDA. It may even be something about new keyboards, as a partner of KSI, where you can secure access. This one in particular supports our mobile credentials. So the proliferation of mobile being part of that desktop is critical. At the front door, to the desktop. You know, peripherals extend the use of our credentials and support it, so it shows the interoperability of our technology. And then, of course, this one in particular has mobile and FIDO supported. So you have a credential option. We're credential agnostic. So what's new and exciting is really the way that the market's accelerating now. I talked about acceptance. First of all, they understand there's a risk. They got to mitigate that, and they want to do it ahead of time, right? They want to anticipate. You never want to wait till after a security breach, right? So ultimately, if you can anticipate and you can provide a turnkey solution for these folks, for customers and partners on a regular basis and be a trusted advisor to them, then it really helps their job easier, because then they can select a credential, and then anything we're doing on the extended access side, enabling their interaction with that endpoint and making it usable, is more critical these days, because if they can't use it, then they're not going to adopt it. And obviously security folks aren't going to appreciate that either. And then the other thing beyond the keyboards is the biggest thing for HID coming out, and it's a little bit of a preview. We actually have a Link mobile app that's available, and we're really optimizing the ability to engage readers remotely, both for the physical access side for signal readers, but more importantly, a unified mobile Link platform that allows management of that unified credential across the physical access, but also on the logical access side. So the PACS readers, the signal readers, and all of our OmniKey readers on the logical access side will all be able to be managed from one centralized console. So that's really exciting for us, and we're looking forward. That's been a big request for customers, and we're looking forward to that. But with that, security is top of mind. So you can't approach it lightly. So from an architecture standpoint, and of course the ecosystem we have, we want to make sure that all the security and all the partners and all the systems rise together, right? So that way you're covered no matter what. And you have that level of assurance built in from your whole experience as a user, from the front door to the desktop.
And are there any other new capabilities or particular innovations that you're particularly excited about?
The adoption right now around mobile and the flexibility. So initially, folks, as anything, you have your pioneers in the industry, the early adopters, and of course, as Apple Wallet and Google Wallet come into play, those are part of the overall support within our wallet application too. So you have the mobile access, and then you have Apple Wallet, and then you have Google Wallet. So closed payment is huge. We're seeing a big adoption of mobile at the front door, but also across student campuses. So being able as a student for me to go ahead and use my phone to literally go into my dorm room, my rec center, pay at my local food mart, all these things. And they have participation of local restaurants, also part of it. So closed payment is a big area for HID and supporting a lot of the partners. And you'll see payment terminals, vending machines, things that interact with these students on a regular basis are going to be really being accelerated this year, and you'll have a lot of big announcements with HID promoting that too coming forward.
Brilliant. Exciting times then. Thank you for talking to me today.
No, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.